Hey, there we go. It went tonight. I started just a hair early and it went. Let's go ahead and get Facebook connected, and let's see who's here and ready to go. Hubcap Dylan, ready to go. Pete's on. Kevin L. Kevin Brown. Neil made it tonight. Austin's here. Glad you guys are here and ready to go. Looks like we are connected on Facebook. Hey, everything worked tonight. How did that happen? Tony's here. That's almost kind of crazy. It's been so spotty lately as to when it does or doesn't hit, but we're going now, and Big Job is joining us as well. So hit the play button just a couple minutes early, but it connected. We're good. We're on. YouTube's connected. Facebook's connected. We're all ready to rock and roll. And as always, a little bit of housekeeping before we get too deep into anything. Randy Weininger here. Ron Levesque is back. Great to see you guys all back, ready to go tonight. Mark's on. John's on. Dad's here. But as always, autocorrect, please double check your comment before you hit send. If autocorrect changes it into something that I can't understand, I will have to skip it. I try to catch most comments. I miss a few, but if I can't understand it, I have to skip it. Steve stopping by with us. Michael Glagola back with us on Facebook. If you're on the Nobody Show Facebook page, please remember I cannot see those comments. This is a shared video from the Nobody Else's Auto page. If you want to comment, participate in the auctions, anything like that, you'll need to be on the Nobody Show YouTube channel or the Nobody Else's Auto Facebook page. If you just want to hang out on the Nobody Show page, you're perfectly fine, but this is a shared video and I cannot see those comments. Trolls, we do occasionally get trolls. We've got some guys helping us out on that. We put some steps in, put some things in place to help eliminate that, but they do still occasionally sneak in. Ads, unfortunately, we are dealing with ads. There isn't anything we can do about it. It is their game, so got to work around a little bit of that. And as always, super chats are super awesome. We do have our supercharged super chat badge ready to go for any super chats that happen to pop up throughout the night. Appreciate that, Buick, man. Hit the like button. Randy with the Nut Farms here. Anyway, let's get rolling for the evening. Let's get the badges warmed up and ready to go. A double shot right out of the gate. And let's get boogieing. John Sanderson here. All right, obviously a lot of my week was spent wrapping up from the F&E Collector Auto Auction last weekend. Throwing Sparks stopping by. But we're pretty much in good shape. The cars are gone. Everything is shipped. Everybody's got their stuff. Just pretty much a matter of wrapping up paperwork now. But we sold about 2/3 of the cars, which is about normal. That's about what most of these auctions do. You're always going to have some stuff that doesn't sell. But like I said, everything went pretty smooth. There's always a few hiccups in shipping, but for the most part, everything went pretty smooth this week. And happy with the way things turned out. It was great to see some of you guys that did make it out. Hopefully maybe next year a few more of you can make it out and hang out and have a good time. I mean, that's the whole purpose of it. That's why we do it. And everybody seems to have a blast. So obviously, that still took a big chunk out of my week. I was hoping by Wednesday I was going to be somewhat back on an even keel, but really it never actually did get there. I did finish sweeping up the building yesterday. So Nate's here. So yeah, it was. It still pretty much took a good chunk of the week. I got a lot of things done, but. That's right, Pete. Pete actually was the last one to get his car picked up, but he had a pretty good jaunt to get back up here and get it. But it is gone. It is in Pete's garage. It is gorgeous. If you guys didn't see the picture he posted on the No Buddies page, you've got to check it out. Great looking Camaro, and super excited that Pete got that. So yeah, so I'm hoping tomorrow I'm back on a normal schedule somewhat. We'll see. Not sure. We're going to try. Who knows? But along with that, I've still got a few things hanging on shipments. I've got a few things on the shipping bench that are ready to go. I know I got one for Eric. I got one for Ron. I had to drain an oil can for Ron, so I've got some of that stuff still that didn't make it out. I did get a lot of stuff that was hanging. I've got a couple out there that were just one little thing that I hadn't shipped, hoping to put something with it. I'll probably go and get those cleaned up and get those on the way this week. So almost getting caught up on the shipments to you guys as well. So just so you know, in case you're still waiting on something, I am still working on it, but a lot of them are on the way. If you haven't gotten yours yet, you should be seeing it soon. Along with auction items, it is the first weekend of October, so anything prior to September will be coming out and going back into the auction pile. I'm not even calling them boxes anymore because now there's several boxes that are stacked this high, so it's literally kind of turning into more of a pile than boxes. So perfect, Randy. Glad yours made it. Like I said, got a few more that I've just got hung up on, but I will get them on the way this week. So I apologize if you were in a hurry for something, but I should be able to get that stuff caught up. And like I said, if you've got something prior to September hanging that you still want, let me know so that I can get it, so we can get it figured up and get squared up and get it on the way to you. Ken from Illinois is checking in. If you're not worried about it, that's fine. It can go right back into the auction stuff, and we can get it, and we'll send it down the road to somebody else a little later. But just wanted to touch base on that so we knew where we were at and what was going on. So next weekend, looks like I'm going to be out of town. So Tractor Mike's stopping by. He's probably still out on the tractor. Glad your stuff made it, Hubcap. And if you guys remember, the last time I was out on the road, I had problems with my laptop. So just one night of auctions. Yeah, we're about to that point, Mark. Drilling wheat, that's what I figured. So that I'll plan on trying to jump on for a while. I don't know what it's going to entail. I don't know what it's going to look like. It's going to kind of be one of those things that, hopefully the computer works, and we'll see how my weekend goes, and we'll go from there. We'll kind of play it by ear. We'll kind of wing it, but we'll try to see if we can get together and do something next week. Hey, here's Randy. Glad you made it back. Something a little bit interesting, completely off topic, but it actually popped up while I was working on notes last night. A lot of times on Saturday nights when I'm down here late, getting things organized, put together for this little wing ding, I got two computers on my desk here, so I'll be working on one, making notes over here, looking stuff up, and I'll just bring something up to watch on YouTube over here. Well, last night, something popped up in my feed on a movie that you can watch free with ads. There's a ton of great movies free with ads on YouTube. If you type in something specific, they're going to try to sell it to you. But if you type in enough, eventually it'll pop up free with ads, I think. I've seen that a lot of times. Last week, I watched the original Gone in 60 Seconds, which I hadn't seen in decades. And then last night, something popped up that I've been wanting to watch. I've never had the opportunity to watch it. But it was kind of cool because who remembers? You guys remember the work I did at my buddy's place down in Beaumont, Kansas, at the Beaumont Hotel. Did you guys see any of those videos or anything like that? I mean, I think it was about a year ago. We did a bunch of stuff down there. Put a bunch of it on the Beaumont channel. I think we put some stuff on my channel. Kevin L remembers it. So if you guys haven't seen that stuff, be sure to check out the Beaumont Hotel channel and check out some of the work I did for my buddy over there. But there's a movie that's tied to what he's got there. Big Job kind of remembers it. They've got a Twin Beach airplane there, just like what I've got at the back of the yard. Beach 18, Twin Beach, whichever one you want to call it. That was actually owned by Barry Seals. And the movie American Made finally popped up free with ads. So I had to watch that last night. From the reviews, it sounds like they took, hey, there's Dennis. They were fairly creative in adapting it for the big screen. Andy the Rusty Okie stopping by. Tweedledee's here. Tweedledee, your check got here on Monday, by the way, so we are good. And you are in the can. That's right, Pete. American Made, starring Tom Cruise, about Barry Seals. And great movie. I loved it. It was actually hard to concentrate on making my notes because it was a really good movie. But like I said, you read the reviews and it says they were fairly creative with a lot of what they put in it. But the gist of the story is all based on the actual Barry Seals story. I mean, he was flying reconnaissance for the CIA, taking pictures for the CIA down in Central and South America, and then he'd literally land and fill the plane with dope and fly it back to the States. So he was working for the CIA and the cartels at the same time. And then that's right, it was based in Arkansas. That's right, Pete. And then, I mean, who remembers the Iran-Contra affair, Oliver North, all that stuff in the mid to late 80s, the Iran-Contra hearings, blah, 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 blah. I mean, I remember just like a snippet of it. I remember hearing about it. I don't remember any of the details. American Graffiti last night, I haven't seen that in a long time either. Big Job remembers it. They actually had, as crazy as it sounds, is Barry Seals then started running the guns for the CIA to Central America. And then the guerrillas they were supplying the guns with would trade the guns to the cartels for dope so they could sell the dope. I mean, it's just, and granted, everybody says they were fairly creative in the movie, but if 50% of what they put in the movie ever actually washes out and becomes public knowledge from that time period of what really happened with Clinton and all of the, and in Arkansas and the CIA, I mean, if 50% of what they put in that movie was true, that would make a heck of a book if that ever actually came to light from the government. So yeah, exactly, Bill. They said he was making like, $500,000 a week. He had like 4 or 5 planes running, was making $500 to $1 million a week. It's not a bad paycheck. You probably skate by on that, but Shopcat swinging by. So anyway, regardless, like I said, I don't know how creative they got with the movie. That's right, Pete. They did make a big deal out about that in the movie. Mena, Arkansas. I don't know how big Mena is, but it sounds like it was a small town. I think there was a sign that like population like 3,000, something like that. But he had like $40 or $50 million in these banks in this little tiny town in Arkansas. Okay, so it is a super small town, and this guy has $40 or $50 million in these banks. It was crazy. So anyway, yeah, I know, Pete. Yeah. So regardless, what it all boils down to, the plane that my buddy has at Beaumont was one of Barry Seals' planes. It is a Beech 18. Twin Beeches were good small cargo planes. They were cheap, easy to fly. You could do about anything with them. There's even a guy that does aerobatics with a Twin Beech. We saw him at Oshkosh several years ago. And actually, he was here in Great Bend, too, with that plane. So, the Twin Beech was just a very versatile plane. The one in Beaumont, Kansas, on display right now was one of Barry Seals' fleet. So, if you're ever running down 400, cutting through southeast Kansas, just out east of Wichita, you got to stop and check it out at the Beaumont Hotel. Stop by, have lunch, look around. But that is one of those planes, and it was, like I said, and there are some other movies out there, but American Made was the biggie. But regardless, it was a very good movie, and it was pretty entertaining to watch. So that Shopcat agrees. They were a great bird. So yeah, so pretty cool. Just kind of a side note, but having to pop up last night, I had the opportunity to watch it. I think it was great. I think most of you guys would probably really enjoy it. What else happened this weekend? Meekum Indy. I did talk to Jim Wicks a couple times yesterday, and he said it was not a very good sale for Meekum. Way down on cars. They were expecting 2,000 cars. He said there was probably 800 cars. He said just not a lot of stuff selling. A lot of bid goes on. So he said that it was not a super strong sale. So, those results are up. We'll kind of see what shakes out, see what we hear about that in the near future. But maybe I'll get a chance to talk to him a little bit more after he gets home and gets regrouped a bit. But anyway, Hudson Badge. I don't know what it was on, Pete. I had it up on the computer a little bit is all I had up. So I don't know where it was at, what their TV package is at right now or what, but I really don't know where it was, if it was even actually on TV or what the situation was there. So anyway, hey, Andy's swinging by. Anyway, what's going on the No Buddies page? What have you guys been up to this week? Let's check it out. Ooh, toys. That's a big toy tank. Holy cow. Wow, I'm glad you put it next to your lawnmower because that really puts it into perspective. Holy cow. That's a big tank. Tractor Mike out in the field. How many rows does that plant at a time? Yeah, perfect timing, John. Yeah, thanks, Andy. But I can't say that I disagree with you, so we'll just go with that. Yeah, how many rows does that plant at a shot? Because you're planting wheat. I know Mike's planting wheat right now, but curious as to how much real estate that planter covers at one shot. Holy cow, he's got all. You guys got to check out this picture. 40 foot. Okay, if you guys are not on the Nobody's page right now, you've got to go on there, click on the comments on Tractor Mike's picture, and check out what he's got going on right now. Holy cow, that's actually pretty cool. He's got all of his monitors up, plus us. So he got a lot of stuff going on. That's actually a pretty good picture. If you guys are not on the Nobody's page now, if you're not looking at it now, you've got to check it out later. That's actually a pretty neat picture. Randy Weininger out in his VW rail. Pete's can collection, awesome. Matt out painting. That is like a 29 to 31 Chevy badge that Nick posted. So a lot of great stuff on there. Car show pictures, swap meet pictures. So anyway, guys, I super appreciate everything you guys put into that page. It's awesome to see what you guys are doing. If you're not on it, get on it. Answer the questions. Andy or Zach will get you in. Andy and Zach take care of that for us. I don't have anything to do with that page. They manage it. So answer the questions. They will get you into the group. And, hey, Billy Bowman stopping by. And you can keep an eye out on what's going on. But that actually is a great picture the Tractor Mike just posted. So. Yeah, that's a big operation. 40 foot. 40 foot at a shot. You're pulling a 40-foot tail. That's a big tail to be keeping an eye on when you think about it. Trying to keep track of 40 feet and not clip something. So, Yeah, that's covering a lot of real estate. New inventory. I actually did get a couple things picked up. Um, I actually had one come in last weekend while I was at F&E. A guy dropped it off for me. Waycamp runs 60 foot. Whew. I mean, because you got to be careful when you got 40 to 60 feet wide behind you, making sure you don't snag something, because that would be bad. That would get bad quickly if you snag something that's 40 or 60 feet behind you and clip something with it. But I had actually another Chevy van come in. I can't wait to do this video on this van. 1985 Chevy conversion van. And that's why Waycamp's already done. In 1985, this thing was epic. It's hilarious. I can't wait to do the video on this conversion van, because it is, if you made a list of 80s Chevy van, this has it on it. It is hilarious. The two middle seats are missing, but otherwise it's pretty much complete. I can't wait to share this stuff, to share this thing with you, because it is hilarious. So that came in. I actually had another cab over cab come in, a 48 Ford, just the cab and doors. Did not get the whole truck, but I did get a cab and doors. That was a cheap shot. Tractor Mike taking a cheap shot at Waycamp. And also had a 36 Dodge truck come in, a 36 Dodge 10.5. So we will get some content put together on all of that stuff sometime in the near future as well. Something else exciting that happened this weekend. I'm not going to give you all the details. I'm going to wait till it gets here. But we've got another exciting car coming in that Dad found. So stay tuned for this one when it gets here. But Dad actually bought a GM prototype this weekend. So can't wait for that to get here. That's going to be a lot of fun. And I think you guys are going to enjoy that as well. So not here yet, but I don't have a lot of custom vans. Obviously, we've got the Wizard. I've got a couple of conversion vans, and then I've got several 70s and 80s cargo vans. But custom vans, not much left. Don't have hardly anything. But even out of my conversion vans that I've got, this one that just came in is top dog. It is completely top dog. And like I said, there's just some really cool things that I think everybody's going to be excited about. This thing is, I mean, I looked inside of it. It is mid 80s, period. No question about it. It's awesome. Hey, guy with the car guy. It is mid 80s. Like I said, if you made a list of mid 80s conversion van, this has it. Oh, I got a moth in here. I was like, what in the world am I hearing? So anyway, can't wait for Dad's new car to get here. Can't wait to share that with you. You don't get the opportunity to buy a prototype every day, so pretty excited to see that. I think you guys are really going to dig it as well. Let's get into, we got to give this truck away here in a little bit, but let's check this out. Let's jump into the brochure. We're going to mix things up a bit tonight, because I've actually got two things to show you. This came in the brochures. It's in packaged up just like my brochures. And I'm going to show the brochure to go with it, even though we've already done it. But this is kind of a cool book. Something a little bit different. You can tell it's actually a book. It's more than just a sales brochure. But what's really cool about this is, this is another book I haven't seen. And I grew up on Buicks. I haven't seen this. Buick's First Half Century. That thing's getting annoying. So this actually is a piece that Buick put out in 1953 for their 50th anniversary. Copyright 1952. So this was early. Getting ready for the 1953 50th anniversary edition. Starting clear back at the background for Buick. Obviously, we can't do this whole thing. But we're going to skip through it. You know, talks about carriage making at the turn of the century. Buick beginnings. Buick buildings, their infrastructure. So I haven't spent much time with this. The war years. And you got to remember, when they did this, the war years, this just, the war just ended 7 years prior to this. Buick, once again, an arsenal of democracy. Buick race cars. The factories. Ads. Some of the early cars. Now this I'm assuming this was a dealer piece because it was put out by Buick. So I think this was. There's the Y job, guys. And up into the early 50s. And celebrating Buick's golden anniversary, the greatest Buicks in 50 years, capped off with the 53 Skylark. So this thing is 76 pages. So obviously we would be here for the next couple of nights trying to go through this. I have no idea how rare this book is. I've never seen one, and obviously I've been around Buicks my whole life. It's a great piece. Tons of amazing stuff in here that I've never seen before. Nice book, obviously tons of great pictures. And with the copyright 1952 Buick Motor Division, I don't know if each dealer got one. I don't know. I really don't know what the story is on it. Like I said, I've never seen one. I don't even know what to compare it to. But I do know there's a lot of cool stuff in it. Now, obviously, we've got our badge right there, 1903 to 1953. Now, we've looked at the 53 brochure once before when we talked about those wire hubcaps. I did go ahead and get it out again so we kind of compare, because see, there we see that badge, that 1903 to 1953, Buick's greatest cars in 50 years, and actually it used the Fisher body emblem in the middle of that. Does it have a title? Just Buick's first half century. That's all it's called. So then obviously, this, I assume this was probably laying in the showroom for people to look at maybe. I don't know. So never seen one. Don't know anything about it. And then, of course, the 53 brochure that the customers would have picked up at the same time in this window that, and like I said, we're not going to spend a lot of time with this because we've already looked at it in the past. But there again, we've got these badges, the Fireball V8 for the first time in 53 and Super and Roadmaster. So if you're in the Buick dealership at this point, this is what you're looking at. This is probably sitting in their lounge for you to flip through while you're waiting on your car, or possibly looking at a new car, or waiting for somebody to help you. So I just thought I'd get this back out and kind of put the two together so we could check them all out, get a feel for it, and really get a feel and a snapshot for that time period. The special. And we got to check this out. Look at the dash. The 53 Buick dash. Once again, using that same symbol for the 50th anniversary as what we had in the other book. Yeah, there's some great stuff in it, Mark. It's pretty neat. And then on the back, then now tomorrow, when better automobiles are built, Buick will build them with the 1903 to 1953 button on the back. So I know we kind of burned through that a little bit quick because we could spend hours on it. In fact, we probably need a Hudson badge after that. But I just thought it was cool to tie it all together with the time period, the 50th anniversary, what was actually happening in a Buick dealership at that time, in that window, when when it was their 50th anniversary. Now Buick's been around 122 years. That's the crazy part about it. Is that when this was printed, Buick was just unveiling their first V8. Reprints are available for $42. Okay? You bet, Randy. I'm sure you're going to enjoy it. As a matter of fact, there it is right here. I forgot you had a 48 just like Dad. Randy and Dad both have 48 Roadmasters. And there it is, the 1948 Roadmaster with that newfangled automatic transmission. So it's crazy to think. Now, Buick did have a self-shifting transmission in 38, but it never really took off. It never gained any ground. So it was a late introduction on 48. The early 48 Roadmasters were still a 3-speed manual. However, shortly after production began, all Roadmasters in 48 did get the Dynaflow once they switched, unless it was a very early car. So, yeah, some pretty cool stuff. I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. I'm glad you guys are excited about it. But like I said, with 76 pages in here, there's just a lot. I mean, just a lot to take in. Buick becomes the cornerstone of General Motors Corporation. So, like I said, I thought we would throw them up there together to kind of to share the whole picture of 1953 at the same time. Hey, there's baling wire. Yep, you'll have to go back and check out the Buick book, Buick's First Half Century. And we'll give that Tonka away here very soon. Anybody ready to auction something, by the way? Anybody want to auction anything? We ain't done that yet. Today's auction is brought to you by Buick. There we go. Hey, JP. I figured you guys were probably getting antsy to do something for an auction. Let's squeeze in a few auctions here, and then we got all kinds of cool stuff coming up. We're going to give that Tonka. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. Hold up. Boom. Supercharged super chat from Kevin L. Boom. Thanks to Kevin L. for the first super chat of the night. We whip out the 1935 Auburn Boattail Speedster Supercharged Side Hood Badge, real deal original. Always comes out for our Supercharged super chat. Thanks to Kevin L. for the first one of the night. We got a cool hood ornament tonight. We got a cool hubcap. We got a cool promo model. We got a great can. We're going to sell some cans. We're going to look at the can book. We got a lot of cool stuff to do. But for right now, let's grab a few auction pieces. Let's see. I got another mix of new plates. Actually, I got some I still haven't spent a lot of time with that massive load of plates that I got, but I did find some really, really killer stuff. Do you guys want to start with a killer plate, or do you want to kind of work up to it? What do you guys think? You're just going to, boom, dive in full speed, or what? Work up to it. Okay, we'll start off with some more regular plates, maybe a grease cap or a hubcap. Some badges, ornaments, deletes. Love the delete plates, guys. I think everything I've got tonight is Kansas. I've got some more Wyoming, but I do need to dig some more of that back out. This last couple weeks, I just looked at this big mountain I've got right now. So, yeah, I do need to get some more of those Wyomings out, Austin. That's a good idea. I'll try to do that for next week. Let's start off with a little plate. And it's brand new. But the package is a little rough, so the plate may have a little bit of damage on it as well. Let's start with a little tiny plate. We've got some damage to the packaging. 71 County 10, Wyoming. Okay. So let's see what we've got. A little bit of surface rust on this I can see from the edge here. 1970 motorcycle, 114 Hodgman County with envelope. And it does have a little bit of surface rust on it. That's kind of disappointing. It is a cute little dude, but this is surface rust on it. It is obviously brand new. It's never been used. Hey, there's Dirty. Backside looks good. Since this is a motorcycle plate, it's kind of a funky, cool little size. About 7 3/4 by about 3 7/8 on the little Hodgman motorcycle plate. I got to get the timer ready. I ain't got nothing ready here. Everything tonight, I think, pretty much will include shipping. Mark's starting us off at 10 in the 48 states. If you're outside the U.S., you will have shipping on any of this stuff. Anything inside the 48 states, shipping will be included. Check, money order, Western Union, PayPal, friends and family. If you're not sure what's going on, but you want to bid anyway, and you want to go ahead and jump in, go ahead, and then call me tomorrow. We'll figure it out. Not a big deal. So I don't have stuff from all 50 states, Big Job. I've probably got stuff from 20 states, maybe half, but I don't have enough stuff from all 50. So anyway, mark at 10. Let's get this one on the timer and dig out a few more pieces. We're going to go 90 seconds. I will tell you when 30 seconds has passed. I'll tell you when 60 seconds has passed. The high bid that I see on my screen at the end of 90 seconds will be declared the winner. Mark at 10. I'm going to do some more looking here, see what else we got. $30 seconds gone. Coming up on the 60-second mark, mark at 10. And we're ticking away. Mark may be the only player on this one. We're going to find out here shortly. Ticking away, coming out of the wire. Mark at 10. Big Job 17, and that does it. Ooh, Big Job slide that into like a 128. Holy cow. There's Mark at 18. Big Job could not have hit that much closer. The only way Big Job could have got beat is if somebody already had something in there and they just happened to pull the trigger at that second and beat him. Because that was just about perfect. 17 to Big Job. How about a grease cap? That is true. He is a seasoned sniper. How about a grease cap? Where's our grease cap fans? This one I think is a Chrysler. It's banged up a little bit, but the C looks pretty cool. What do you guys think of that one? Whammy to bit up here. C looks good. Hex is back here on, still dirty on the backside. Internal threads as usual. Randy, 15. This is a little bit wider across the front. The backside's a little narrower, but it is kind of a wide cap. Across the back, we're only about 2 3/4. But across the front, this thing is almost 4. It's like 3 7/8 across the front. So kind of a cool piece. Randy starting us off at 15. Let's get her on the timer and away we go. You all right there, Nut Farm? 30 seconds gone. Coming up on that 1 minute mark. Randy at 15. 1 minute gone. 30 seconds left to go. Ticking away, ticking away, ticking away. Randy at 15, just kind of hanging out there. We're getting close to the end. Is Randy's 15 going to hold? No, Nut Farm 25. Ron at 20. I've got the Nut Farm at 25. And that held. Randy came back with a 26, but it was too late. Nut Farm at 25. That one got interesting. How about a can? This isn't a real rare can, but this one is a pretty cool can. You do see them, but they're usually clobbered because they're aluminum, so they usually don't hold up real well. This one's not bad. It is empty, it is mobile, and it's got the Pegasus. So check this one out. So this is actually aluminum, and this is painted on it. The silver is painted. This is empty. This actually got the spout in it. John at 10 when it was new. This side looks pretty good. This side does have a little corrosion on the Pegasus, but you can only look at one side at a time anyway. So this one I thought looked pretty decent. Figured you guys might dig it. Would look great in your collection as well. We've got John starting us off at 10, and away we go on the timer. Coming up on the 30-second mark. 30 seconds gone. John at 10. Coming up on the 1 minute mark. John at 10. Let's see what's going to happen. These are getting interesting at the end. Past the 1 minute mark. John's hanging out there at 10. Randy at 15. John at 16. Coming out of the end, what's going to happen? Somebody going to throw something out there and knock them both out. Ron at 18. Dirty at 18. Everybody at 18. I got Ron first. We got a few seconds left. And that does it. Ron at 18. I had a bunch of 18s, but Ron was first. That's what I had on my screen. That's all I can go by. And everything else was after the minute 30. But pretty good looking can. Let's catch another. Let's catch it. Oh, this is cool. You guys are going to dig this. That's true. Yeah. The stray bullets. That is a very, very good point tonight, Ron or Pete. Yeah, it is kind of like the OK Corral around here tonight. Woof. Which actually has given me an idea. I just need to see how I'm going to do it. But it gave me an idea. The OK Corral situation tonight's giving me an idea. So I don't know if we'll get to it tonight, but we're going to do We're going to mix up this auction stuff a little bit. It's going to be fun, I think. But this one we'll just do normal because I'm still working on this in my head. It may take me a second. Things don't always work too quick up here. We'll do it at some point tonight. I'm going to try my new idea at some point. But for now, let's do this because this is cool. 1932, Kansas. Look how straight this thing is. This is a 32. It's 93 years old. And see this? It's a truck plate. A 1932 truck. Original paint. Orange with black letters. Pretty darn decent plate considering this thing is over 90 years old. Good looking piece. This is one of those ones that's kind of long and narrow. So let me give you the dimensions on it real quick. While you guys are reloading your 6-shooters. 14.5 by 4 3/8. Rush County. 14.5, 4 3/8. Let's get it on the timer and away we go and let's see what happens. No kidding, Randy. I agree with that. Nobody jumping in yet. Tractor Mike at 10. I figured everybody was waiting till the last 10 seconds. 30 seconds gone. Tweedledee at 20. John Sanderson, 20. Tractor Mike, 22. Just past that 1 minute mark. Sanderson, 24. And that does it. John Sanderson at 24. Nice looking piece. I got another little plate here. Let's do this one real quick while it's laying here. I'm working out the details in my brain on this other deal. This is another one of those little weight rating tags. This one's a 12M, white with blue letters. I believe this is 1960. It is Newell stock, never been used. Beautiful piece. Let me give you the dimensions on it. It is basically like 2 7/8 by 6. So almost 3 by 6. Just kind of a cute little dude. Good little plate, brand new. Let's go ahead and get her going and tip this one out and add this one to somebody's collection while I'm thinking. Mark, 10. If you rode a bike, yeah. 30 seconds gone. One minute gone, 30 seconds left. Boom. There you go, Randy. Mark at 10 on the little 12M. Austin, 15. About ready to wrap it up. And that does it. Austin at 15. Okay, I'm thinking about this new idea. I think we'll still do our normal auctions where we'll stop for a while and do 4 or 5 things, talk about them, give you dimensions. But I think I'm going to throw something else in. You guys tell me what you think of what's going on in Chad's brain here. How about, a lot of this stuff we take a little bit of time, we give you dimensions, we look at it, we look at the condition close, we point out any surface rust. And I still like doing that because that gives you guys a good idea what's going on. What do you guys think about? You think about absolutely nothing, Tractor Mike. That is very true. That could happen. Actually, I do not have any fuses in here. I should probably go get a box of fuses because I may blow one. What do you guys think about flash auctions? Where I'll grab a piece, I'll hit the timer as I'm grabbing the piece. I just got a haircut 2 weeks ago. I'm good. Here we go, 60 seconds. You guys are bidding while I'm talking. Boom, 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 and it's done. So it's going to be quick. And like I said, I still like taking some time on some of this stuff. And I think we could do good idea, Tony. I like that. I can go with that, Tony. Not only will we kind of mix them in with our regular auctions. Thanks, Tony. You got me sidetracked. But we may do it at any time. So we'll still do like our normal 8 or 10 maybe auctions. But at any time, I just go, boom, grab something, boom, there it is. We hit the timer and we go with it. We can try that a few times, see what you guys think. Thanks, Tony. You got everybody screwed up now. What were we talking about? What are we doing here? Why are we here? What are you guys doing here? She's here. What are you guys doing here? Wow, Tony, you got everybody off track now. So you guys want to try it? And like I said, we can do them at any time. I could literally be holding something up here, reach down and grab a piece, drop this, and away we go, and just mix them in. So let's try it. And I tell you what, we'll test run one, and you want to do it with something really killer and see what happens. I got a killer grease cap. I got a couple of killer plates. I've got an awesome delete plate. Couple pretty decent cans. What do you guys think? You want to try it with something average, or do you want to try it with something really cool? Something I'll lose money on. What do we want to try? delete plate. Are you guys ready for the delete plate? The delete plate's pretty epic. Lightning round. There we go. That's a good way to put it. Delete plate, speed type auction. Okay. Are you guys ready for this? I'm hitting the timer when I hold it up. I will tell you one thing prior to this. It is new old stock. Okay? Ready? Set. I'm hitting the timer when I hold it up. And go. This is a Newell stock 1952 Studebaker clock delete. The glass was broken. I had a used one. I put the used glass in here. Hubcap Dylan at 15. This is Pete at 40. It is 5.5 inches in diameter. Ron at 50. The colors are great. It has some depth to it. This is a glass front. There's a little surface rust around the chrome bezel. This had one stud that held it in the back of the dash. Pete at 55 is our high bidder. We're past the halfway point on this Newell stock Studebaker clock delete. The used one that I have, the red is all faded out. We'll sell the used one later. This one is brand new with amazing colors. Nut Farm at 60. We're about ready to wrap this up. It's almost done. The Nut Farm at 60 on the Studebaker clock delete. Here we go, almost to that 1 minute mark. And it is over. Where are we at? I have Ron at 65. Ron was my first 65. Pete had a 65, but it was later than that. Ron at 65 on the Studebaker clock delete. Great piece. I do have to write it down afterwards because when I hold it up, I don't have time to write it down. All right. More. Congrats to Ron on that one. All right. We'll keep mixing a few of those in, I think. And I will just tell you it's a, well, I don't know, what are we going to call it? There were some comments about it. The speed round, flash auction. We'll figure something out. And what I'll do is I'll just announce whatever we decide to call it, flash auction, speed auction. Boom, away we go, and away we go. So, rage round. There we go. It is kind of a rage round. So it might bring more money. I don't know. Lightning round. JP said, so you guys want to keep mixing that in? I mean, I don't think we should do them all that way because some of this stuff, there's some questions about it and things like that. So I don't want to do it all the time. Some of this stuff we do need to, you guys have questions. I want to make sure you have a good understanding of what we're talking about, but we like it sounds like. So let's go ahead and do a promo model, and maybe we'll squeeze another one of those in. Oh, we got a great oil can too. The Fireball 500, that would be a good way to call it. Lots of hearts. That's a lot of hearts. So I'm taking that that is good. Tow truck time. We should do that here shortly. Yeah. Let's do the oil can, and then we'll do the drawing. How's that sound, guys? Let's do the oil can, and then we'll do the raffle. Because tonight's oil can is awesome. Tweedledee, since I did get your money, I will get you a book. But that does bring up another point. I think about everybody, other than I think Kevin Brown needs to pick his up yet, but most people have their oil can books. Tweedledee just paid for one. If we need to, hey, there's Tim B. If we need to get another batch ordered, let me know. If not, I'm just going to have Tom drop ship Tweedledees to him. So if you did not get an oil can batch on the first round, oil can book on the first round, and you do want one, be sure to let me know. I'm glad you like it, John. It's some cool stuff in here. Tonight we've got a special can out of my personal case right here in front of us. We also got an Auburn badge and a Hudson badge. The books are $25, Tim. If you haven't seen the inside of it, there, obviously not everything in it, but there is like 1,100 cans in here. But tonight, the can we're going to check out. I haven't. There again, Kevin. I haven't got your stuff shipped yet. That's one of the boxes that I didn't get to last week. So yeah, it's out there. It's just that's one of the ones that I didn't get to. Tonight's oil can, if you have your book handy, is on page 49. This is a very rare can. They are seldom seen. Mine is a little bit rough. Yep, Tim, you can get one. That's why I say if you guys want one, let me know. Get me paid for it. And then I will get what I did last time is I ordered like a dozen of them. And then I started putting them back in with everybody's auction purchases. So when you bought something else or you bought a can or something, then I just shipped it all together instead of having to ship it all separately. Like I said, if it's just one or two, I'll send a check to Tom after you guys pay me and have him drop ship them. If we need to order another 8 or 10 of them, I'll get another batch of them, for you guys. So if you want one, let me know. Go ahead and send it through PayPal. Hey, Alex, stopping by on Facebook. So let me know. Get payment on. I've got Tweedledee's payment, and so if you want one, go ahead and fire it through PayPal or send me a check or whatever, so I can get either get an order put together or have Tom drop ship them directly to you. So glad you're enjoying it, John. Well, if you've got it out, go to page 49, and we're going to check out a can that is very seldom seen today. Like I said, mine is a little rough, but it's the only opportunity I've really had to buy one, so I am happy with the one that I do have. It is can number 450 on page 49 in the book, Jayhawk Oil. This one obviously here is pretty nice. Mine, not quite so much. Mine's a little rougher, but for as hard as these cans are to find, I will take it. Still has good graphics. We do have definitely some color loss on the blue. The red and the yellow still looks pretty good on the head. Feet still look good, and of course the Jayhawk oils across the bottom still very clear. This can does have some surface rust on it, but it's primarily on the backside. We can see the seam on it, where this is an original metal can. This actually is from Salina, Kansas. The Kent Oil Company in Salina, Kansas is who made the Jayhawk oils. So these do not pop up very often. They are hard to find. Like I said, I'm happy to have this one even in this condition because you just don't see them. I think that's right. Yeah, I think you're right, Ad. And I think that is the issue with the blue is it was just thin paint and they didn't survive them. And that's what's great. It's just like several of you guys say you've never seen it. They're just not, you just don't see them. When we look at the information in the book for can number 450, Jayhawk Oils, the Kent Oil Company, Salina, Kansas, white, blue, red, and yellow, 40s era. Now you got to remember this book was published in 2003. Okay. And obviously this can is in pretty good condition. It's a nice picture. In 2003, they had the value of this particular can at $8.50. If that gives you an idea of how rare these Jayhawk cans are. and don't want to see them. I guess it is good patina, Alec, but still be nice if it was a little bit better. I guess, but. So definitely not a very common can that, and see, and actually, and it says down here, prices are for a grade 9 can, so not a Newell stock can, but a nice can. But that was still over 20 years ago. So that gives you an idea that if this can was $8.50 20 years ago for a good one. And I agree with that, Pete. Some of the stuff, it's too nice. They do look fake, but this, for as rare as it is, I'm happy with what I've got condition wise on this particular piece. None on eBay, so yeah, they don't pop up very often. Believe it or not, I got this at Meekum several years ago. Kind of a fluke deal. They had somebody consign some automobilia, and they had a can collection with about 20 cans. They sold them all in one lot, one shot deal, and this was in it. So I actually bought this at Meekum, surprisingly. I figured somebody would have spotted this. Most of the cans in the collection were fairly common. I don't even remember what else I got with it. But this was in the mix, and I was kind of shocked that somebody didn't pick this out and go hard on it. But I got the whole collection bought there, and I was happy with it. But definitely a cool one that you don't see very often. So yeah, if anybody wants to get one of these books, let me know. $25. And I can either, like I said, if it's just a couple, I will have Tom drop ship them. I will pay him after you pay me and have him drop ship them. If it's several, I'll just have him get me another box of them and then start adding them to auction purchases and things like that as we get to some of that stuff, so that we get them out to you guys. Obviously, you guys have seen the comments for everybody that has them, and they love them. So pretty cool stuff in here. Obviously, not everything in here. 1,100 cans. These are all quarts, which is just the tip of the iceberg for oil cans from back in the day. There were so many small independent companies. Yeah, I think so. And like I said, we may need to get another batch from him. Just depends on how many more you guys want to add one to their collection. But it's fun, and we're having a blast with it. Hudson Badge. All right. We ready to give away this Tonka? Who got in this week? The last few entries that we had this week, Tweedly D, of course, Ron Levesque, and Big Job got in this week. I told you we'd try to give another little truck away with it. I need to run out and grab that little truck. It's out in the shop. Dad got a bunch of toys, and he gave me a handful of toys to go in and start throwing one of these in the raffle. Gulf gas, we did have a little bit of Gulf around here. I don't know if he's got Gulf cans in here or not. Don't see any Gulf in here. There was a little Gulf. It wasn't real common. Huh. So I've never done any research on the company. Balin Wire sounds interesting. Okay, let me go grab this other toy. We're going to draw 3 names tonight. One for the tow truck, one for a little small truck that Dad had, and then, of course, entry is into next month's raffle. Then we're going to show you the new raffle. Hold on, I got to get over this pile. Ugh. All right. Okay. Let's give some stuff away. Is that price based on unopened cans? It says number 9 condition cans, Alex. So really nice ones. It doesn't say whether they're opened or not. Just really good condition can is what they're putting that price based on. Okay. We're gonna do the Tonka toy tow truck. This is a cute little guy. We've been talking about him for a month. And then we're going to give away another little Buddy L that Dad had. So we're at least going to give away another small prize. And then, of course, 10 entries into next month. In fact, the next name out of the can will get their choice, whether they want the other little truck or they want the entries. And then we'll go from there. But super cool, early 50s Tonka wrecker. Let's find out who's adding this little guy to their collection. Are we ready? Here we go. Okay, I think I'm down to 1. Let's see what we got. Tweedly D. That's a great piece, a cool little truck. All right. Now, we're going to draw 2 more names. The next name can either have the little Buddy L or they can have 10 entries into next month's raffle. Tweedly D is out since he already won the main prize. And let's see what we got for the next one. Man from the farm. I don't even know if he's on tonight. Haven't seen him on yet tonight, so we'll give him a minute to see if he's on. If not, we'll mark the Buddy L to him. Or now, actually, we'll just draw another name, and for the next name, we'll get the choice. We'll just do that. We'll give a second, see if he's on. And I'm not seeing anything. So we'll pull the third name and let them choose. Tim B. Tim B's on. So do you want the little buddy L or do you want entries next week or next month? Okay, sounds good, Tim. Tim B wants the little buddy L. And we'll put Man from the Farm in there for next month. So the cute little buddy L will be heading Tim B's way. Pirate Ship is doing a little bit better job of remembering them than the other system I was using. But if it's been a little while, Tim, it's safer to have it than not. Let's put it that way. It's safer to have it than not have it. Pirate Ship is not bad at remembering them when I put the name in, but it doesn't have all of them, especially if it's been a while. So anyway, are you guys ready to see what we're doing next month? All right, is everybody ready for next month's raffle? And you guys have been asking for it. I hope you guys participate heavily because this thing is really cool. It matches with what some guys have been asking for, but it wasn't cheap. I'm already into this thing probably for, when you figure what's going to cost to ship it, I'm into it just as much as what we sold all last month already. By the time I shipped this thing, we haven't sold enough. It might have broke even with what we sold this month for what I had to pay for this thing. But it's cool. Now, the thing about it is I've got to find stuff that's somewhat universal too. I don't want to give something away that just specifically says Chevy or specifically says Ford. If we get into some of the universal stuff, Nash, Hudson, even some Buick, Olds, maybe some Pontiac, Mercury, some things like that aren't quite as, definitive brand loyal, that's not universal, but a little more universal to where more people would enjoy it and could, and are going to think it's cool when you display it so that people will appreciate it and say, man, that's awesome. Where'd you get that at? That's super cool. That type of stuff. So it's a little bit of a trick, especially when, I passed on this the first time about, a month ago, probably. I passed on it. It was just too much money. I didn't know if we would sell enough tickets to cover it. So I passed on it. Then I passed on it again. And then the next time I was up there, which was just the other day, somebody else was asking about it. Yeah, you have to do some AMC. Yeah. So I was kind of like, man, literally there would have been a guy there like an hour before me asking about it. So I kind of figured, well, I either got to do something. It's cool. It fits the bill. It is not too universal, but it's a little bit universal. It has an amazing look. It has chrome. It has colors. And I hope you guys like it, and I hope you buy a ton of tickets. So without further ado, Austin was right. We did get a steering wheel. And here she is. If you guys are ready for it. May look a little familiar to you, actually. Are we ready? It's pretty cool. Oh, I better have a drink. Here we go. What do you think? The hearts took off almost immediately. I bet you guys can guess what it is. Their hearts are still going bananas. It would make a great Christmas wreath. No, it's not AMC. You guys know what it is. We just looked at it. Maybe you weren't on yet, Mark. Yep. It's 53 Buick. That's the 50th anniversary Buick symbol with the Fisher body symbol in the middle of it. The hearts are still going. I'm taking that as a good sign. So you guys have been wanting a steering wheel. We've got a steering wheel. Let's check out some of the specifics. There it is in the car. It's $1 a chance, Tim. $5, put your name there 5 times. So it's still going to be $1 a ticket. I just hope we sell a lot of tickets. Hey, there's Wake Up. The hearts are still flowing. No, my plan was to try to find something in the yard, but I never got that far. That's another reason why I grabbed this when I was out there this week from that guy. I hadn't had time to go out and try to find something, pull one off. If I had something, clean it up. He had this one hanging there. It's amazing. It just wasn't cheap, obviously. Whoa, check it out. Boom, supercharged super chat from the Nut Farm. Get those tickets, absolutely. Supercharged super chat thanks to the Nut Farm. Boom. Supercharged super chat badge. Now, condition-wise, it's got a few scratches and a few cracks. Over here on this side, these are scratches and gouges in the plastic right here. Not really sure what happened to it, but it is scratched up here. There are a few small cracks in it. Right here, there's one. The hearts are still going. The center has nice, good color, and it's clear. It does have some hairline cracking in the plastic center if you get the light just right. But obviously, it's not very noticeable because we're looking at it in all these different angles and you really can't see it. But it does have a little bit of hairline cracking in the center. This is all chrome-plated steel. This is the horn ring. Now watch the bars in the middle when you push the horn ring. The center bars move with the ring. The hearts are still going. Perfect, Tim. That'll work awesome. The hearts are still going. I'm sure it would go fine there, Nut Farm. I'm sure it'd look good. So that's how the horn function was through that with that bar. Kyle's the car guy's already claiming it. You could be right, Dylan. Let's give you a dimension on this thing. Remember, guys, steering wheels were big back then. This thing is 18 inches. So it is 18 inches in diameter. The hub and everything is intact on the back. But it's quite a piece. So, how's that for the October raffle, guys? So, you've asked for it. We've got it. Hope you like it. Hope you buy a ton of tickets. Because it's going to look really good hanging on somebody's wall. I think they were all the same in 53. Now, there were differences. If the car had power steering, the horn button said power steering in it right here. But I think Special Super and Roadmaster all used it. No, it wouldn't be the Buick that it came from. Like I said, I just bought the steering wheel loose. I didn't take it off the car. So there you have it for October, the 1953 Buick steering wheel. So we'll get her hung up so you guys can admire it for the rest of the month. We'll give that thing away. Looks like November 2nd, I think. November 2nd is a Sunday, so. Yep, I think it'll hang right up over here nicely. Get a good screw anchored in the wall. And let you guys admire it. And here in about a month, we're going to be sending it to its new home. So, you guys asked for it. We've got it. We'll see how it goes. We'll give you an Auburn badge and a Hudson badge to think about it. We'll see how the entries go. So anyway, what else we got to do yet tonight? Where's my list at? We got to do a promo model. Oh, we got a hood ornament to talk about. We got a grease cap to talk about. We just give away a super cool Tonka tow truck that is going to be added to Tweedly D's collection. JP32. So anyway, that was cool. Excited about it. Glad you guys liked the steering wheel. And if you guys do, if it does well, we'll try to find another one for sometime down the road and see how it works out. But something totally different for this month. Glad you guys are excited about it. The River of Hearts finally slowed down, which that thing rolled pretty good for quite a while. So anyway, let's get moving on with the other stuff we still need to catch tonight. Vegas statistics on auction. Yep, not sure how that would work out, but depends on how many entries we get. But how about this? Let's sell an oil can. Here we go. We're on the timer. Co-op brand new old stock T200 motor oil. Brand new in the can. Never been opened. I will have to drain this. Austin at 10. If I ship it, if it's a pickup deal, I'll leave it full. Has a dent back here. Randy at 20. Mark 25. Probably 60s era. It is a metal can. We still see the seam over here. Farmland Industries, Kansas City, Missouri. I've got Mark at 25. Yeah, I figured Tractor Mike negative bids because it's the co-op. Ron 30. Randy 30. Beautiful can. 1 quart metal co-op. Ron at 30. It is SAE 2020. Got a few seconds left, but not a lot. Ron at 30. And what are we going to do? This is gold. This was available in different colors. Ron at 30. And that did it. Ron at 30. I had Randy at 32, but Ron was first on my screen. So that's all I can go by on the oil can. I figured that I figured we get Tractor Mike wound up with a co-op can, because we all know Tractor Mike is a fan of the co-op, right? All right. Well, that's kind of crazy. We've done 2 of them, and Ron actually got both of them. Let's do a promo model, then we'll do a few more of these license plates. Back to our Chevrolet collection. Dad and I went to that big auction, or not a big auction, but a big promo collection at auction just over a year ago, last September, up in north central Kansas, where the owners of the dealership over the years took the promos they liked home and put them up on the shelf. Believe it or not, this one does have a slight bit of damage. These have been in excellent condition. This one does have a slight bit of damage. I thought it was kind of odd, but the seat came loose in it. On this 1973 in medium orange, this 1973 Camaro Rally Sport. Chai Savage, glad you saw us on Craigslist and stopping by tonight. Check out what we got going on. Great looking car, and what most people don't realize, most of these cars did not have a rear spoiler. Like I mentioned, well, the seat is actually loose in it. It came loose on the passenger seat. Really one of the only flaws we've seen in any of these promos. All the original tires and wheels, of course. Even the little front bumperettes aren't chipped off on this thing. It does, I don't know if you guys will be able to make it out or not, it does actually say Rally Sport 350 on the side of it. These cars actually, most of them came with hubcaps. They didn't come with rally wheels and spoilers. A lot of them actually came with hubcaps. On the bottom, something kind of interesting, since most of these cars are, these are one piece of injection molded plastic on the bottom of them. There's not a ton of detail, but this one is really fairly detailed. Full dual exhaust. Check this thing out. Obviously, they don't have a separate engine. It's just molded into the plastic, but it does actually show true duals all the way to the back. Rear sway bar, the leaf springs. Really, for one of these, fairly detailed. Kind of surprised. When you look at some of the specifics, actually, this even has, I don't know if you guys will be able to make this stuff out or not, but it appears as though we've got park brake cables and some of the lines and stuff running through here. Obviously, we can clearly see the subframe. So they actually put some time into designing this bottom plate for this promo with some specific details. So kind of a neat piece. I don't know if I can at some point take it apart and glue that seat back down, but whatever. Even if it doesn't, it's not a huge deal. We'll sit her in there best we can, put it on display. Obviously this thing's not scuffed up, scratched up, beat up. Still a pretty darn decent looking piece, and not one you see every day. On the 1973 Camaro Rally Sport. No, I'm not selling this one. All these Chevys out of this big promo collection, other than the one that Tractor Mike got, we're keeping. We got 49 of the 84, and one of those was for Tractor Mike. So 50 of the 84 we ended up with, and then one went to Tractor Mike's collection. So believe it or not, we're not done yet. We've been working on this collection since last September. So just over a year. Obviously, we missed a few weeks when I was out of town and things like that. But still 6 or 8 more promos to go out of the Chevy collection before we shift into some of the other promos that I bought over the last year. But definitely excited about it, and glad you guys are digging it. But pretty cool 1973 Camaro RS with the split bumper, no spoilers, and hubcaps. Uh, 62 Impala SS convertible. Oh. So let's catch a few more regular auction pieces, guys. Catch a few more. We actually got some cool plates. Let's get you a couple of these really good plates. All right, let's do a couple license plates here. And what else do we got? Now, these are not Newell stock, but looks amazing. We haven't done many of these. I don't know if there's just some years we haven't done a lot of. I don't know if it's just because they weren't as many of them out there, if it's just I just haven't found a lot, but that's kind of where we got on this one. From 1954. This is used. I think it's used. Yeah, it's used, but it still looks pretty darn good for used. This actually has the state cut out in the corner. That is a factory cutout. That's how they made them in 54. White with black letters. We can still actually see some of the paint flaws in it. We can see the paint's a little thin in these letters. That's how it was made. Nice and flat, nice and clean from the wheat state in 1954. So good looking piece, but what's really kind of cool about this particular plate is Ron starting us off at 10. No, you're not seeing double. I have the matched set. Mark 15. Yes, you're going to get the pair. They've been together for 71 years. They're going to stay together. Yeah, right there, Nick. On this match set of 3-digit 630 Rush County, the wheat state plates. Yeah, you're right. That's just what I was thinking. They didn't stay on long, or it was inside all the time. Condition on both of them is excellent for used plates. Backsides still look pretty good. So they've been together this long. We're going to keep them together. Like I said, sometimes we just need to take a little bit of time and study some of these and go over it. So let's go ahead and get them on the timer. I've got Mark at 15. You're getting the pair of 1954 match set 630 plates. $30 seconds gone. Hey, there's Michael stopping by. 1 minute gone, 30 seconds left to go. Taking away, coming out of the wire, Mark at 15 on the pair. I don't think it was, but Ron at 30. As we're getting down to the end, I've got Ron at 30. What's going to happen on this set? Hubcap Dylan 31. And that does it. Hubcap Dylan at 31. Ron came back at 33, and it was just a hair too late. All right, while we're here, we'll catch another cool plate. This one, we're going to back it up a few years. Sounds good, Tim. Good to see you. We're going to back this one up 97 years. It's a 1928. Look at this thing. How crazy is this? Original paint, kind of an off-white cream with blue letters. Does show some age to it. Still pretty flat. It looks like it was bent here a little bit. We can see a crease in the paint right there. This is kind of a different size. 14 7/8 by 5 3/8. So almost 15, a little over 5 tall on the Kansas 1928. All right, Ron at 10 as we start this one off. Let's see, John at 16 is where we're at. $30 seconds gone. 60 seconds left to go. John at 16. Waycamp 20. One minute gone. 30 seconds left to go. Super cool plate, 97 years old, Waycamp at 20. We're coming down to the wire. What's going to happen? Jesse, 22. Nick, 23. And that does it. Nick at 23 is who I had. Mark out at 24, but it was too late. Nick at 23. All right. Okay, guys. Are we ready for something else? What else we got to do here? How about we do flash auction on. Here we go. Ready? Boom. We're on the timer on the other Studebaker Elite plate. This does not have a glass. This is used. It does have the bracket on it. The red is faded out of this one. The Studebaker is all nice and clear. You can see the depth in it. We're live on the timer. We're already going. John at 10. Same size as the other one. Kevin L. 15. It was, 5 inches or something like that? Chrome is pretty thin around the edge here. John at 16. 5.5. Going to give you a chance on the other one. 30 seconds gone. We're halfway through it. John at 16. Obviously, the other one was a little shinier. It had the glass. This was a little better color. But we're going to sell you the other one right now. Coming down to the end, John at 16. Where are we at? We got a little bit of time left on the other Studebaker Clock Delete. Nut Farm at 20. Where are we going to be? We're getting ready to wrap it up. Nut Farm at 20. Last couple of seconds. And Nut Farm at 20. All right. Okay. Let's catch one more regular auction, then we'll do one or two more auctions. We still got a grease cap to do and a hood ornament to do. But we haven't done one of these in a while. Let's do this. Just normal. General Tire. Ashtray. We've been having a lot of fun with these. This one does have some color loss at the bottom. We still see the General Tire logo. These take a little bit to check out all the details on them, so we'll do it on a regular auction. We will figure this on 90 seconds. It does have the General Tire stamped into the tire itself as well. Actually, check that out. It's like a very smooth tread pattern, almost like no tread pattern, almost like a completely smooth cut. It does have ridges on the sides. We can see on the backside where it has a little bit of that paint loss. It is almost 6 inches in diameter on the General Tire ashtray. So let's roll on this one. Somebody kick us off, and let's get started on the General Tire ashtray. Waycamp at 10. Ron at 10. Mark, 12. "30 seconds gone. Almost to that minute mark. Mark at 12. One minute gone. 30 seconds left to go. Waycamp, 15. Mark, 16. Got a few seconds left. Getting ready to wrap it up. Mark at 16. And that does it. Mark at 16. Wake Up out of 20. Just did like David D out of 20. Just a hair too late. Mark at 16. All right. Please remember, guys, if you just have one thing, I will try to hold it a week or two to try to put something else with it. So just to save on shipping. Anyway, what do we got yet to do? We got to do a hood ornament. We got to do a hubcap. Let's check out this hood ornament. Or do you want to do the hubcap first? Hubcap or hood ornament? What do we want to do? We'll do the hubcap. Because it matches our badge. And we need a badge, right? We need a badge. We need a grease cap. How about that? It's the same size? Nope. Badge is a little bit bigger. Hudson, Detroit, Michigan. This looks like a pretty early Hudson. Just a basic font stamped in here. It's a fairly heavier cap. The triangle actually sticks out from the cap. This obviously appears like it was a black background. The letters are almost too small. I don't know if they would have been painted or not. There goes the hearts. Now, one thing that's kind of interesting, obviously this is internal thread like all these are, but there's no hex on this at all. They had to have something to catch this triangle to spin them off. So, yep, see, Nut Farm caught it right away. So they probably had some sort of a flat wrench that went around this triangle, is what I'm betting they did on this Hudson grease cap. I'm betting this is probably late teens, early 20s, based on the fact that it's kind of fairly plain, not real ornate. It is not aluminum. It is a heavier metal. I don't know if that it's steel or what it was, or if it was brass. Kind of looks like brass on the inside, but kind of a cool piece. Huh. Lots of never sees. There you go. The outside of the circle is about 3 1/4 out here around the outside perimeter. So kind of a mid-size cap from what we're used to seeing, but kind of cool in its simplicity, I guess is the best way to put it. The fact that it is not real ornamental with a lot of design work to it. It's pretty basic. It's got the triangle, the letter stamped in it, and that's what you get. That's it. So that's kind of what I thought was kind of cool about it. The simplicity is kind of what makes it stand out and be a little bit different than what we're used to. Up next, how about a hood ornament? And we're actually moving along pretty well, guys. I actually didn't do a story time for tonight. I didn't know how much time we were going to have with the raffle and things like that, so I didn't get that ready. So we'll probably wrap up a little bit early tonight, but that's fine. Everybody's got things to do tomorrow too, so. But we're definitely going to check out this hood ornament. Look at that. Chief Pontiac. Check this one out. This is not one of the light up ones. This is all chrome. It was marked 47 when I bought it. I'm not 100% sure if that is correct. Condition on this thing is really good for its age. I mean, you can see that it's not pitted up. It's not scratched up. Chrome has a nice shine. Obviously, like we just saw, great detail still in this piece. And it's pretty good sized. Now, yes, a lot of these did light up. This was not one of the light up ones in the early 50s, especially. It was pretty common to have an amber head up here. And there would be a socket in the bottom of the light right of the hood ornament right here, where this amber head would be up here, and then there would be a small light bulb in there to light those up. But this is still a pretty cool looking piece. Like I said, it's bigger than it looks. From the tip of the nose all the way back to the tip of the tail feathers, this thing's about 17 inches, almost 1.5 feet long. It is fairly narrow and thin, though. It's not huge and bulky, but it is long. And it's not real tall either. It's only about 2 1/4 inches tall up here. It would be a cool mailbox piece. There's no doubt about that for sure. But I seen that land there. I was like, man, that would be a pretty cool emblem to check out tonight. Like I said, condition on this thing, considering whether it is a 47 or not, it's definitely in that era. Ron had a 49 with a light up. Dad's 51 ambulance has a light up. They're pretty cool. Yeah, probably would make a great speed auction piece, but then I wouldn't have one. Oh, man. Probably a good thing we are wrapping up a little bit early tonight. But a cool piece nonetheless. So definitely wanted to share that with you. I didn't figure you guys would ever be too opposed to sliding a hood ornament in for emblems and badges at some point. And that's kind of what this piece was here. Now, you see how narrow the face is when you look at it dead on like that. Really a pretty thin hood ornament for the bulk that a lot of these had at that point. Hey, there's Mark Kirk stopping by tonight. Whew. So anyway, guys, we'll probably just go ahead and start wrapping. We're just over 2 hours. I guess we started a minute or two early anyway. And let everybody get on with their night. I know I'm kind of whipped tonight. I need to get some rest. But once again, it was a fun night. What do you guys think about the speed auction? We did 3 of them, I think. What was your opinion of the speed auctions? Do we want to keep sliding them in? Does it get too confusing? That's true, Mark. It's got enough chrome to stand out. It doesn't have to be huge. So I'll be curious to see what you guys think okay, so pretty good feedback to sliding some speed auctions in. I would go play with your tank too, John, because that is a pretty epic tank. I like tanks, and that is an epic tank. Ain't gonna lie. So the speed auction thing we like. So slide those in here and there. And like I said, some of the auctions I still want to take some time with them on some of them and get because some of the stuff just takes a few seconds to look at it, so you guys have a good idea of what we're actually talking about. I will get a lot of those shipments caught up this week, and like I said, guys, if you just have one thing, I will hold that for a week or two to try to get something else with it, just to split the shipping up a little bit between the items. Appreciate that, Kevin. Hit the like button real quick. Actually, one other thing I do want to talk to you guys about. We'll touch on it again next week. The hype button. We've talked about it a little bit. Speed auction needs to be only a minute. That's what they were, Pete. They were 60 seconds. The speed auctions were 60 seconds. Hype. I wanted to touch on this a little bit. We touched on it a couple weeks ago. November, all-night speed auction for Christmas. Ooh. What do you guys think about that? Of course, that would go really fast if we're going 60 seconds and we're doing the description while we're doing them. We could do it. I mean, I could be organized enough to do it to where I'm just grabbing. I mean, we're going to have a little time in between, but that's an idea. Yeah, and that's what I would have to do. Basically, just right here, I would have to take the pile and probably resort it and have stuff just lined up, probably lined up like in beer flats. So I would finish this box here, slide it off the side, slide the next box over, and do it that way. But we can do that. There's no reason why we can't. I could just, instead of looking up a bunch of details for stuff, I could just line stuff up the night before. But definitely something to think about for sure. So it's a new twist. You guys like it. We'll keep incorporating it, and we may do a full night of it, like Big Job said, and rock and roll with that. But one thing I do want to touch on before we jump out here, the hyping a video. Auction-O-Rama. There we go. When you hype a video, and this is what I'm asking you guys to do, you can do it for 7 days. So like today, you can go back to the Continental Mark II video and you can hit the hype button. What YouTube does and how that helps me and helps my channel is the more hypes that a video gets, then the higher up the food chain it moves with YouTube. They assign points to a video based on the hypes, and the more hype something gets, the more it gets pushed. It ends up on specific pages as a hyped video. So if you guys see that button, please hit the hype button. It helps me out. Go back to the Continental Mark II video from Friday and hit the hype button. It is only good for 7 days from what I have been reading. And like I said, I'm just starting to get into this. We'll keep touching on it and kind of try to learn a little bit more about it. But it definitely helps me if you guys can hit that hype button when you click on a video to help basically the score of it on YouTube and kind of keep it moving forward and help it move up in the rankings. So obviously the speed auctions are pretty much here to stay. It would be fun to do a whole bunch of them at one shot. That would definitely keep things busy. Appreciate it, Nut Farm. Yeah. tweet that he saw it earlier today. So I don't know if there is on a live stream, John. It didn't say anything about live on what I read, but like I said, I'm kind of trying to read bits and pieces on this stuff as I see YouTube putting it out there. Glad you enjoyed it, Chai Savage. Come back. We do it every week. So I don't know if it's on lives, but when you click on a video and you can hit that hype button, it does give it points based on how many hypes it gets on YouTube. So any of that stuff you guys can do, I appreciate. With that, let me check my notes here, see if we're about done. Looks like we're about ready to wrap. We are well over 2 hours anyway, so we could have squeezed something else in, but that's all right. Like I said, I didn't know how long the raffle was going to take, the steering wheel. And I'm glad that you guys are digging it. I'll show it to you one more time. This month's raffle prize. John, I think I may have some 2X left. Okay, Big Job says not on a live, just on a regular video. Thanks, Big Job. I am just about out of these. That's one thing I do want to do this winter. I wanted to do it last year. I didn't get to it. Get with my T-shirt guy and get a new design made. But I do still have just a handful of these left. I don't know if I got 3X, but I think I've got 2X, John. Okay, sounds good, John. I'll see what I've got left. I've only got one box left because there's only 10 or 12 shirts left total. So appreciate it, Tony. Glad you guys had fun. But hopefully, I'm glad you brought that up because I do need to get on a new T-shirt design. I'm just trying to decide for sure what I want to do with it. I've got some ideas. I don't feel tardy. That's the best line ever in a rock song. I love that. But Kenny did make it tonight just for a bit. Just as we're getting ready to wind things down. But at least he did make it. That's better than not making it, right, Kenny? We introduced some new cool stuff tonight, Kenny. I think you're going to like it, so stay tuned for next week. What else is coming up? I've got, public videos this week. The last one from Auburn Cord Duesenberg, and it is epic. Did any of you members see the new members video from Wednesday from Auburn Cord Duesenberg about what they're building that is not an Auburn, a Cord, or a Duesenberg? Did any of you members catch that video yet? Thanks, Big Job. See, Austin's seen it. There again, the Johnny Carson comments still floor me. I try to do a good job for you guys, but the fact that you even talk about me and Johnny Carson in the same words for what we do, super appreciate that. Thanks, Big Job. Pete saw it. Yeah, that's a pretty special car. So you guys that's going to be great. I really think you guys are going to enjoy that. And then glad you're here, JP. Friday night, we will have a bunch of new old stock Dodge stuff. A lot of it I'm keeping for my truck, but got a new old stock sign. That'll be up next Friday. We'll get some more new some members videos up this week as well. And we will do Toy Tuesday as normal, since I'm hopefully getting back on a normal schedule for Toy Tuesday. So we do have a lot of great new inventory coming up that we haven't gotten to yet. Glad you had fun, John. And glad you're excited about the raffle. I hope everybody's excited about the raffle. So I need to sell a lot of tickets. But you can see it's worth it. You know, that thing is 72 years old. That's 72-year-old chrome and plastic. And it looks that good. No, Thursday, we can go Thursday. We tried to do class last Thursday and it didn't work. So I'm kind of open up through Thursday, Pete. So whatever you and Bill and Eric decide to do, just give me a heads up. And we'll try to get something working for the training class again as well. And any of you guys that want to join, jump into the training class. You can go back and watch the old videos. learn about what these guys are finding. Bill Disk going to Hershey this weekend, so that ought to be interesting. See what he comes up with. Perfect, Mark. That'll work great, and then I can ship it all together. That works perfect. Yeah, the training class on what I do, buying cars, buying parts, marketing, packaging, shipping. We talk about all that stuff. And as these guys find stuff, we talk about it, whether we think it's a good buy or not. So, yeah, we do that a couple times a month. We get together on a live for the guys that are in that training group and talk about that stuff. And really, this one, I don't know if Bill's still on. It's getting pretty late back east. But since he's going to Hershey, I don't know what days he's going to Hershey. It may be kind of fun to do it, while he's there, or, seeing what he's finding at Hershey. But that might be kind of a new twist to it. But yeah, you guys, if you're interested in how I do it, you can step up to the Premier group and the Nobody's membership groups. And we get together a couple times a month, and that's what we talk about. So it's been working pretty good. We've got Eric, Pete, and Bill all in there, and a couple more wouldn't hurt a bit. But it's going to be kind of curious to see what he finds at there's Bill, about doing it from Hershey. That might be kind of cool. What days are you going to be out there, Bill, at Hershey? And we'll see what we can coordinate to do there, because I'm sure you're going to be hitting the message group about things you're finding out there. But anyway, guys, check it out. If you're interested in the specifics, the mechanics of what I do, Tuesday through Friday, okay? So whatever you and Pete and Eric can make work, we could probably make Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Friday wouldn't work. You'll probably be coming back Friday anyway, so that wouldn't matter. But if that's something you guys have some interest in, jump in the group with us. That's why we do it. And these guys are finding some stuff that makes some money, but there's also some stuff that wasn't worth buying. That, Bill was going to buy a big load. I was like, Bill, they're just really, the return on it is going to be such a long, slow burn to break even. I can't see it being worth it. And so he didn't buy it. So there's both sides to that coin that we look at in that group, as far as, what I've seen over doing this for basically my whole life. But anyway, if you're interested, you can always call me and go over some more of the specifics. Get in the group, try it for a month. If it doesn't work for you, if you don't like the couple times we get together, you can always opt out of it. Once you join the group, you can go back and watch any of the videos for that group specifically. One night we spent a lot of time on packaging and boxes and things like that. So anyway, all that stuff kind of comes into play. So we kind of got off on that a little bit, but there were some questions about it. So I wanted to make sure that we addressed it as far as what we do in that group, and we have a great time. So just something to keep in mind if you have an interest in the specifics of how I do what I do. But anyway, guys, I think we'll go ahead and wind her down for this evening. We'll see you Tuesday night for some Toy Tuesday. We'll get those other videos up. Do not miss Wednesday night's video. It is something completely off the wall. It is probably not the last thing you would expect to see at Auburn Court Duesenberg, but maybe the second to last thing you would expect to see at Auburn Court Duesenberg. We've always kind of shoot for a Thursday night big job, but it varies a little bit based on people's schedules. Like I sent a message out last Thursday afternoon and said, hey, you guys want to go tonight? Well, it didn't work out because of everybody's schedules. So now we're shooting for this week. So it's there is some flexibility to it. With 3 of us in the group, there's some flexibility to that. If we had 6, 8, 10 people in there, we will have to set a specific time to do it. And the guys that can't make that would have to go back and watch it later when they could. But as of right now, with just 3 of us, we've got some flexibility in that time. But as the group grows, we will have to probably lock that 7 o'clock, 7 to 7:30 window on Thursday nights in. to try to lock that down. So, but we'll see how that goes as we get a few more people in the group and see what happens. But typically that's kind of where we throw that dart is 7 to 7:30 on Thursdays, like every other Thursday. So anyway, appreciate you being here, guys. Like I said, do not miss Wednesday night's video. It is, if it's not the last thing you would expect to see there, it's got to be second to last, but it's pretty cool. Rambler hubcaps. We got Rambler hubcaps. I don't know if I got any in here right now. There's like 10 hubcaps in here, but we'll see if we can find a Rambler cap or two for you, John. I'm sure we can do that. Mix some of that into the auction stuff. So anyhow, I'm going to let you guys get on with your evening. I'm going to wrap things up, and try to get around this mountain and wind my evening down as well. I'm going to get to packaging this stuff up tomorrow and get it headed your way. We're going to get a super cool toy Tonka dump truck, or tow truck, excuse me, headed to Tweedledee. And thanks for being here tonight and making this what it is. So stay tuned. We'll see some of you Tuesday night. If not, we're sure to see you right back here next Sunday night, same bat time, same bat station, for some more Gearhead interactive live chat. Have a great week, everybody. Have good luck at Hershey to Bill or anybody else in the back that's back east and heading up there. And we will see you all next Sunday night. Thanks for being here. Thanks for watching. Thanks for your support and participation in the chat.